Now, the next deck is going to be Cosmos. One of the most popular decks out there. I'm not going to lie. FLUFFALS can slaughter this deck. It can just slaughter this deck. Because, you already know, the same point I made with BA is that she prevents him from floating. So, there's that. I can leave it at that. But wait, there's more. Well, the way I see it, the two most important Frifers that you need against Cosmos is Frifer Sabretooth and Frifer Sheep, because Frifer Sabretooth can just you can just sit on Sabretooth unless they go for the extra deck plays. But most of the time you wouldn't even have to worry about quite a bit of those plays unless they go for like Infinity or something. But even then, I'm only seeing people run like 2 Slip Riders in a Cosmo deck, so they'll be wasting 2 Slip Riders on Infinity. So yeah, not too great there, not too great. So yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Cosmos are the easiest matchup against for FLUFFALS, because for FLUFFALS they can very easily overpower this deck. No, they can easily lose to Sheep, because Sheep, if it attacks like over Cosmo, Dart Destroyer, Slip Rider or something, then it can't float. So yeah, they can't beat Sabretooth on extra deck. So yeah, main deck options are not an option against Sabretooth. So, not Raigeki, not, let's say, Dark Lady. They're not going to get around this guy. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not going to get around him. And another thing is that FLUFFALS can very, very easily overpower them, because cards like Fight for Tigers they can go into. Sabretooth alone can help Sheep get around Dart Destroyer. It's very easy to overpower Cosmos with this deck. Another thing, it's very hard for Cosmos to even try to get over their attack points if you need to. I mean, even if they go for like Dart Destroyer and they can't destroy your Sabretooth if you use 3 monsters. And if they destroy Sheep, we'll just come back anyway with more points. Unless it's already at 32, in which case it'll just stay at 3,200. Which Cosmo Dart Destroyer cannot get over. Yeah, and they can't float either, so yeah. Another thing, even though that Cosmos have quite a bit of cards that can stop effects like Dark Planet, like Dark Lady, Dark Eclipser maybe, like against a Fusion Reserve or something, I wouldn't know why, but they're still there. But even then, FLUFFALS can still play circles around them. Like, I have a friend that plays Cosmos, and I play FLUFFALS quite a bit. And let me tell you, I played circles around his lockdowns, all because they only have so many resources to go into, while FLUFFALS have loads. Like loads upon loads of plays they can go over. Just because they can generate so many pluses so easily off of Wings, Toy Vendor, Dog, a lot. There's so many pluses and so many searches. I mean, it's just a whole factory of searches, pun intended, but yeah. I feel like that FLUFFALS have pretty much every advantage over Cosmos, which is why I feel like it's the easiest matchup for them to go up against, despite Dark Lady existing. So now, on to the deck's hardest, absolute hardest matchup. Well, who didn't see this coming? Seriously, by a raise of hands, how many guys did not think... No, how many guys did think that this deck wouldn't be number 1? Okay, we can say that no one raised their hands there. I mean, it's kind of obvious. This deck is the hardest matchup for FLUFFALS by a long shot. No other deck can hurt FLUFFALS as much as this deck can, because it completely locks down the extra deck if you have a domain build. The extra deck build's not much of a problem, really. I mean, you can just go yellow, go tiger and stuff. Because, like, the domain lock doesn't stop you from the extra deck, so yeah. Pretty convenient in that area. So yeah, like the Domain Monarch is by far the toughest matchup for FLUFFALS. Why? Because the Domain Lock still exists the Field Spell still exists at 3, which is crazy in itself. Also, the Monarch Stormforce is still at 3, so going Aether with it can be a really huge pain, because Sheep can't float, Sabretooth will be gone, Tiger will be gone. There's so many ways to get rid of them. There's so many ways to use Stormforce and so many other cards in the deck to just gain so much more advantage. It's just hard to go up against this deck. I mean, I had one week where I played my brother, where he played Monarchs a lot. Well, I was playing FLUFFALS a lot of the week. And I promised that I would beat him in that week. I tried all those times. Beat him on Saturday once. Tough matchup, man. Like, this is one match where I say that the side deck is very, very, very crucial. Because once you point Master Restrict, cards like Fairy Wind or something, it's going to be hard to get around these decks. Because with, oh my gosh, I just really, really, really hate Monarchs. They're stupid. They're my most hated deck of all time. Well, the two most important Frifers that I see are easily Tiger, and if you're running it, Frifer Leo. Because Frifer Leo is a Volcasaurus, and doing 2800 to your opponent's face is all the more satisfying. So, yeah, Frifer Leo is fine. Put it at 1. If you can put it at 1 if you're using it. I wouldn't put it at 2 unless you're running Saw, and I don't know why you would, but hey, it's your choice, I guess. Well, one thing I would have to say is that you will need the Fluffal Wings play to even get to your outs, because once you open with your outs, you're gonna have a hard time pulling your outs unless you know, because like a lot of the cards in the deck are dead against Domain. Like Polymerization's dead, Dark Fusion's dead, Fright Fusion's dead, Fright Factory's dead. Just all of it's dead unless you go up against once you get rid of Domain. Other than that, Monarchs have a very, very brutal matchup against Fluffals. Like, the one way that I see is that just get rid of Domain as soon as possible. I don't care what you say, just get rid of Domain. After that, you can just go completely ballistic on them unless they run Valor for some reason. Which I don't know why they would. I mean, I've seen some that do. It's kind of ridiculous, kind of redunculous. But, yeah. I just feel like that Monarchs are their hardest matchup. But I feel like that Fluffals can take them on with the right hand, right side deck and stuff. Because this is the only real huge threat to Fluffals. And the one thing that's keeping them out of the spotlight in the meta for me. Well, yeah, that's it for my meta discussion video, guys. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. So, talk to you guys later.
Fluffal stuffing. Only real men play Fluffals.